Hello, second grade. So today for history, we are doing our last and final chapter, chapter 42, called The End of Rome. So today we're going to do lesson 1, the last Roman emperor. And so I'm going to read to you again, and then we'll go over questions. And if you have any specific questions or you need help, please let me know. So without further ado, we're going to start. What happened to the Roman Empire? The Romans used to rule dozens of other countries. They were the most powerful people in the world. But then the empire was divided, and the barbarians came. The Western Roman Empire grew weaker and weaker, and the Eastern Roman Empire refused to help the West out. As a matter of fact, the Eastern Roman Empire wasn't even called Rome anymore. Instead, it became known as the Byzantine Empire. The Western Roman Empire still existed, but barbarians took over most of its land. And although the Western Roman Empire still had an emperor, he didn't live in Rome because Rome had been destroyed. He lived in a small, swampy city, hiding from the barbarians. Finally, one of the invaders, named Orestes, decided to drive the Roman Empire out of hiding. He collected an army and marched towards the small, swampy city where the emperor lived. When the emperor heard that Orestes and his men were coming, he ran away. But by the time Orestes arrived, the emperor was long gone. Orestes decided to make his own emperor. There was only one problem. His son was 6 years old. 6 years old. But that didn't stop Orestes. He ordered all his men to obey the 6-year-old emperor, and he gave his son a new name, Romulus Augustus. He called him Romulus because an old legend said that a man named Romulus was the first king of Rome, long, long ago. And he called him Augustus after Caesar Augustus, Rome's most famous emperor. That was a big name for a little boy. And when the people who were left in the Western Roman Empire heard it, they laughed. Romulus Augustus, they said. What a silly name for a child. We won't call him Romulus. We'll call him Momulus. Momulus meant little disgrace. The Romans felt insulted because they were expected to obey the child of a barbarian. But Momulus didn't get to be the emperor very long. Another barbarian captured Momulus and his father Orestes. Momulus, now 7 years old, was sent off to live in another city. He was given plenty of money to pay for food and clothes, but he wasn't allowed to rule anymore. His crown and scepter were taken to Constantinople. And that was the end of the Western Roman Empire. It was full of barbarian kings, each one ruling his own little kingdom. The lands that used to belong to Rome now belonged to them. The new settlers still used the wide, beautiful Roman roads. Rome's huge buildings still stood, although many were beginning to crumble away. Many people still spoke Latin, the language of the Romans, and the barbarians had begun to learn Roman ways and the Roman customs. But the Roman Empire itself was gone forever. Over in the Eastern Roman Empire, now called the Byzantine Empire, people mourned. Rome had been a great and beautiful city, but now it was in ruins. As long as the emperor still ruled, there was hope that Rome might be great again. But now the last Roman emperor, a little boy just your age, had lost his throne. Rome would never again rule the world. And that's section 1. So we're going to review and go over some questions. So make sure to pay attention because that will help you with your worksheet. All right, so Orestes, he named his 6-year-old son Romulus Augustus. And so why did the Roman people call Romulus Augustus little disgrace? Why did it call why did it call him little disgrace? Well, because they didn't want to obey a child who was also a barbarian. They thought it was silly that, first of all, that Orestes would name his son Romulus Augustus. So that's why they started calling him Momulus. And they felt they were not very happy. And so they called him little disgrace because they didn't want to obey a child who was also barbarian. Plus, he was only 6 years old. How old was Romulus Augustus when he became emperor? He was 6 years old. And what happened to him after he was removed from the throne? What happened to Romulus when they removed him from the throne of being the emperor? Well, Romulus, he was sent to live in another city. Was there another Roman emperor after him? No, there was not. Romulus Augustus was the last Roman emperor. After he was removed from the throne, there was no more Roman emperor. And what happened to the Western Roman Empire? Well, the Western Roman Empire actually disappeared. The barbarians took over and started to live there. And what happened to the Eastern Roman Empire? Well, the Eastern Roman Empire, as I said before at the beginning of this lesson 1, it was called the Byzantine Empire. The Byzantine Empire. So, all right, so that's lesson 1. If you have any questions, please let me know. If not, please make sure to do section 1 worksheet. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Bye.